Welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit, my book which outlines all of my strategies on just how I've been able to obtain a 30, 40, and as we've seen already so far, 50+% ROI season after season across multiple sports leagues. Hey there, Brian. Oh yes, let's have some massive wins today. I feel very confident about a lot of these games and seems like everything is moving in the right direction. There were some lines that formed later and you know, everything's really developing. Hi Victor. Hey Super James, how are you guys? Hey Derek, and hello Chuck Science. Good evening all, and thank you so much for stopping in the Sports Betting Illuminated stream. Yeah, I'm just gonna kick this off with first getting our minds right to win some wagers, because honestly, with all the distractions and everything going on out there, and you know, whether it's in the world or in your personal lives, you know, before you sit down to, you know, really analyze something, it is important to get your mind right. So that's why I like to say, sit back, relax, and get your mind right to win some wagers. That was a crazy one. That is Solar Serenade that I am enjoying. It's sativa dominant. It has like a citrusy kind of taste to it. It is crossed between lemon haze and blue dream, so you will taste like kind of the floral undertones of blue dream in there. But it's energy with like calm, relaxing side effects, so it's really nice, you know, a very balanced finish. Hey Ken Leo, so nice seeing you this evening. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. I really appreciate it. Definitely get my mind right. Yeah, so we have a lot to cover, and I'm excited to dive into it with you. So let's start off with college basketball. I have two plays for you here. I feel very confident about these games, and they are starting at 7:30 p.m. So, you know, we're not like in a rush to cover these right now. We still have 25 minutes until you need to really like lock in your picks here, but things always do tend to move at the last second. So first we are looking at Penn State Nittany Lions versus Michigan State Spartans. This is happening at 7:30 p.m. And you know, watching how this line has moved on a total, I am really interested in the under here. It is really interesting how it's developed. Went from 156 to 153 and a half. Really only on level 1 money, but you know, these teams are both going to be playing defensively. There's not going to be a lot of points scored, I don't think, and you know, I like the under here. I like how Vegas is moving this line too, you know, and like I said, there's level 1 money on it, so not a ton of money, but it's still pretty good, you know, and really this is more of a Vegas move, so I like the under here. I'm feeling very confident about that one. Now let's move on to my second play. Hey David. So I am looking at Troy versus University of Louisiana Monroe. This game is also at 7:30, and I really like the Troy spread here. This opened up at -10.5 and pushed all the way out to -13 on mixed money. Now the sharps are starting to hop in on the Troy spread, so I like this a lot. You know, I like how it's sitting, how Vegas moved it from -10 to -13. Did I say 13 and a half? No, it's sitting at 13 right now, so pretty big move, and now the pros are really starting to jump in on Troy, so I feel confident about this spread. And yeah, those are my plays right now in college basketball. Yeah, that's really all I have for you at this moment in college basketball. But we are about to roll into the 2-minute drill, and I have some NBA plays, which are going to be a lot of fun to dive into. And I even have an NHL pick tonight. And of course, this is a live show, so everyone watching out there, thanks so much for joining me. Of course, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it so far. Follow along, and if you haven't already, sign up for my free daily emails at arielcalista.com by clicking on the Stay in Touch button. Now, we're about to roll into the 2-minute drill. Let me just recap real quick my college basketball plays. I like the under in Penn State versus Michigan State, and I like Troy -13. Now, onto the 2-minute drill. It is where I am. Let's go. We've got this. I feel really good about that one. The 2024 NFL season has been a goldmine for sharp bettors, and it's been a disaster for the sportsbooks, with a string of bettor-friendly outcomes that has shifted the scales in favor of the public. Flutter Entertainment, the parent company of FanDuel, recently announced a $370 million downgrade in its U.S. revenue forecast. Now, why is this? Bettors hammered the books, especially on games like the Detroit Lions upset over the San Francisco 49ers, which alone cost Flutter a jaw-dropping $74 million. This is no isolated case. This is a wake-up call for the sportsbooks and an opportunity for those who know how to play the game. DraftKings has also taken a financial hit, slashing its revenue and EBITDA projections by $250 million and $175 million, respectively. Now, what is causing this financial turbulence? Predictable game outcomes combined with public support for teams like the Lions or the Broncos have created the perfect storm. When bettors pile on a team that just keeps on winning, the sportsbooks struggle to balance the action, which leaves their liabilities exposed. Now the result? Unprecedented payouts and a narrative of volatility that the sportsbooks cannot afford to ignore. Now here's the kicker. If bettors start crowdsourcing insights, combining predictive analysis, line movement data, and historical betting trends, they could break the books. This season has proven that with the right strategy, you can exploit the gaps in the sportsbooks models. That's what my upcoming training program will be all about, teaching players how to spot these opportunities before the books adjust, by understanding where sportsbooks are taking a stand or if they're misjudging public sentiment. You can leverage those insights for massive returns. Sportsbooks rely on the assumption that most bettors out there are just uninformed. But what happens when the bettors flip the script, unite their knowledge, and outthink the house while playing on their side? The answer is crystal clear. We win, and the time to capitalize is now. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and wow, how informative, right? But it really shows that, you know, there is a lot of risk involved for the house as well in sports betting. So, you know, they are a lot of times really trying to balance the money, but there are spots where they're not trying to balance the money, and those are spots that I like to find and I truly exploit, and that's how I am able to play with the house, when they're not balancing the money and when they're taking a side, you know, watching and seeing when they're taking a side so you can play with the house. That's my strategy, and it really all boils down to that. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you like the video, of course, please let me know. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to make, and of course, those reports are out there. This is public information. You know, these are publicly traded companies, so this information's out there. It's really easy to find, and you know, when you do see that, you realize, I mean, what I always say is actually very accurate. You know, like the house is almost always right, but almost always. They're not always right, and you know, they do lose sometimes. Seriously. And you know, that's why I can handle these hot streaks and cold streaks, you know, very easily. I mean, I think a lot of other gamblers really, you know, get emotionally invested in hot streaks or cold streaks. You know, when you play with a house over time, you'll be profitable, but even a house right now is having to reconsider and have better metrics and, you know, figure out ways to balance the bets better. It's true. But don't worry, your favorite sports books are not going out of business anytime soon. They're still wildly profitable. Now, let's get on to a few more plays that I like for tonight. In the NBA, the Rockets are playing the Nuggets at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight, and I'm not gonna lie, I really, really, really like this Nuggets spread. It opens up at +2.5. They were the underdogs. Then it flipped pretty early on to -1, went to -1.5. Then went to -2 on level 1 money, so it just moved way out. I bet it at -1 because that was already such a big move from the open. So I grabbed it pretty early, but you know, I do like this play a lot, and I feel very confident about this one tonight. Then Hawks are playing the Bulls at 8 o'clock tonight, a little bit earlier, and I really like this Bulls spread. This opened up at -2.5, went all the way out to -6.5. There was some mixed money, really not a lot of money pushing this. Honestly, this was a Vegas move, and it moved out pretty fast. I mean, of course, you know, the Hawks, they don't have some of their starters. Trae Young is out, and many starters are out. So, I mean, it makes sense also, like, why they dropped the total, but, you know, it doesn't look like this total is dropping any further. Normally, I would say this is like a great move, but this would have been a great move if you got the total at the open at 245.5. I wouldn't personally take it right now at 235.5. It's just a little, I just don't really see Vegas moving too much after this, but that just shows how fast they react to news. It's in the blink of an eye, like within seconds. Seriously. But yeah, so that's what I like tonight. I like the Bulls -6.5, and I like the Nuggets. Grabbed it at -1. You could get it at -2 right now. Maybe you could line shop a little, still get it somewhere at -1.5. I don't know. But yeah, those are my plays so far. I do have another NBA play and an NHL play coming up for you. But let's just get into this fun little cannabis game that I have real quick. I hope you guys join along. So what we are doing here is I separated all of these emojis. I separated all of these emojis, as you can see, but with the pre-rolls in between, and basically just guess what cannabis cannabis term that I'm giving you. Like with the first one, you see a sun and you see some eggs frying in the morning. Probably. What do you think? What do you think that one is? The next one, we have a train and a pineapple. Feel free to just like throw your answers in the chat. The next one is a thumbs up and a plant leaf. Okay. Underneath that, you have a car and it looks like a plume of smoke and a fire. So take a guess what that one is. And underneath that one, you have a pizza, a hamburger, a french fry. What cannabis term do you think I'm referring to there? And then finally, you have a clock and the green and a celebration. So what does that mean? Anyone got some cannabis guesses? Well, feel free to throw them in the chat if you have anything. Oh, wake and bake, there you go. That is the first one. Congratulations. That is great. All right, Check Science got the first one. Wake and bake, that is the frying egg with the sun. Wake up and bake. You get it? Ooh, Pineapple Express, you got the next one. All right, you are crushing these cannabis terms. I love it. Yes, that one is it, with a pineapple and a train. Think about it, Pineapple Express. The next ones are a little bit tougher, but we could all, you know, sit back, relax, get our minds right, and figure these out. I believe it. Green thumb. I love it. You got it. Oh, munchies. You got that one. That is the fries, hamburger, pizza one. That is definitely munchie food. Does anyone have a guess to like the car, fire, smoke one? This is fun, right? Are you guys having fun, enjoying this game? I love seeing like little cannabis emojis, trying to figure it out. I wish they would finally have a cannabis emoji. Like, why? That was a tough one, seriously. Great job. You are crushing it. Munchies. Some of these are pretty tricky. Green thumb, that's right. There are still two left on the board. The car and party time. Well, I'll give you a hint. The one at the bottom with three emojis is, well, people could write this in like 4 numbers or 3 numbers too. Maybe I am a little high. You could write this in 3 numbers too. 3 emojis, 3 numbers. What's that cannabis term? That was a pretty big hint. This is definitely a good stream tonight. I am really enjoying it. Shout out to cannabis. Uh-oh. All right. Well, I will just tell you, it is the last one, the very bottom one is 420 because it's a green celebration of 420. And the one with the car and the fire and the smoke is Hotbox. Yeah, that was a fun cannabis game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now let's get into the rest of our plays for 20. All Right. No, this is more of like a really heavy lean for me right now. But I am looking at the over in the Nets versus Clippers game. This one looks like it's probably going to keep on moving. It opened up at 211 and a half. It's already sitting at 213 and a half, and there's level 5 money on the over in this Nets Clippers game. So I think this line is just going to keep moving. We'll probably see it at 214, 215. I don't know. Has it moved already? Anyone have the current status on that? Yeah, so right now I am leaning towards the over in this game. And that kind of concludes all of my NBA plays for tonight, but I do have a hockey pick that I can't wait to share with you. I really like the Oilers puck line tonight. This was another pretty big move that I saw on this Oilers puck line. They're facing off against the Minnesota Wild. This puck line moved from plus 140 to plus 110. So you could still, you could still get this right now. Oilers at plus 110 on the puck line, I think, in most spots. But this was a huge early move, and I could see this moving more as well. So I like seeing some of these like later plays develop. And I think both of these have the potential to keep on moving. And those are all of the plays that I have for you tonight. Can you believe time flies when we are having fun? So I am just going to run back through all of my plays for you so you could lock them in. We have some games that are starting in just 6 minutes. So let's cover these. Again, in college basketball, for everyone who might have gotten in late, I did really like the under in the Penn State-Michigan State game. And also the Troy spread. I like that you're taking it too, Brian. So let's go. It's sitting at minus 13 right now. I also am taking Nuggets. I took them at -1, but they've already moved to -2. But I still really like this play. And I also took the Chicago Bulls. This moved pretty early, pretty fast to -6.5. So I still like it there. I still like it at -6.5. And of course the total crashed early, and though normally I would say this is a big line movement, and Vegas had their reasons, a lot of people are out, and it just doesn't look like they're going to keep dropping this total any more than they already have. So that's why I'm staying away from that in particular. This is really more of a heavy lean, but I like it. I like how it's moving, and I think it will keep moving, and that's the Nets Clippers over. So it's sitting at 213.5 right now. And finally, in hockey, I'm taking the Oilers puck line. I caught that at plus 110. Oh wow, so it's already at 214.5. Okay. All right. Super James is doing some line shopping. I love to see that. Yeah, okay, so that's on the move. This is a heavy lean, but I'm really liking this play more and more, especially seeing how this line's developing. So definitely lock that in. And those are all of the plays that I have for you tonight. So if you would like to check out my book and really understand my strategies on how I analyze these plays, break them down, plus there's some great like workbook activity in here, so you could really learn how to play with the house and really put game theory to work so that you're creating a win-win situation with a sports book. If the house wins, you win as well. And that's what we're doing here, and how we have such high ROI season after season. But in this book, I dive into AI and machine learning and, some of the tools that the sports books are using, but also really covering my strategy in a thorough way. So check it out. It's available on arielcalista.com. Just click on the store and you could get your signed copies there. Or of course you could go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kodobo, any of your favorite book selling platforms, but I am selling signed copies directly from my store. So check that out, arielcalista.com. And thank you so much to everyone for joining the stream tonight. I know it was a little shorter than some of our other streams, but we really covered a lot. We have some great picks here. I feel really confident about these picks, and I love seeing how this just keeps moving and moving. So good luck tonight, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Sports Betting Illuminated. I will see you all at our new time on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. So join me Saturday morning, bright and early, because we have a lot to dive into this weekend. All right, thank you so much everyone for stopping by. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up on your way out, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go. Hey Nathan. Bye everyone. Thank you so much.